In this lesson, we'll finish up the adjustments we've been making on our current F-curves by bringing our attention now to the horse's center of gravity control. We've got a few things to do to finish up our center of gravity movement. It's pretty much all of the animation that it will have, that up and down, and the rest of it will come from our other controls for it, like our hip control and also our thorax control. So what we need to do with our center of gravity control selected is go to our graph editor, get to our translation Y, the only attribute that has keys on it, and we'll start by making our adjustment on frame 11 where we need to bring this body up a little bit more to fix the pose in the character's right leg, right front leg that is. So what we can do on frame 11 is just go to our translate Y channel and middle mouse button click and drag up a little bit more. Enough to where there's a slight bend in that leg, but to where it looks straight, like so. Then from here, to fix the remainder of our keys, let's go ahead and select our start and end key, frame 1 and 13. Hold shift and middle mouse button click and drag up a little bit here so that the keys are in between frames 3 and also 11, but favoring more or closer to the key on frame 11. Okay, and then from there, we'll deselect, making sure just our Y is selected, hit F, so we can get a better view of our F curve here. Select our keys, okay, select the right halves, and middle mouse button click and drag up to fix the flow. Now with this done, if we minimize our graph editor, even hide our curves and hit play, we'll notice that, okay, now the motion is smoother, and we've also fixed that area where the leg was straightened out, or where the leg is now straightened out. But the up and down needs a little bit more work. Okay, the character really needs to spring up as it goes into its total suspension, bringing all four legs off the floor before it lands. So in order to do that, we just need to take the key on frame 3 and bring that up a little bit more. So let's do that. We'll bring back our graph editor, hit undo a few times, and we don't really need to view our curves here since we have our curves selected if we hit undo a few times. If you want to, you could always go back to show and go to NURBS curves and bring them back, but don't really need them visible when editing them unless you want to get to a certain control. But getting right back to it, we do want to bring back or bring up the key on frame 3, so we could select it now and hold shift and middle mouse button click and drag up. Okay, so now with that done, let's see if we moved it a little bit too much. Again, we can hide our curves and hit play. And actually, no, that looks pretty good. Great. But to see this more accurately, let's go ahead and do a play blast. Here it is. And now our center of gravity movement looks much better. Great. Now the horse is really springing up. He shouldn't spring up too much. It's not going to be this great dynamic jump at all. It's just going to be a slight spring up, but we needed a little bit more than what we had before. So that's much better. Well, with that done, that finishes up our adjustments for our current F curves that we have, that we've been tweaking. So now what we need to do is add some side-to-side movement in our thoracic limbs, okay, to get those moving right. And we're going to work on that in the next lesson.